Hello, this is Frank Valente, and how you doing? And I want to give you a market update. So I'm always getting asked, "Hey, Frank, how's the market?" And especially right now, and this video is as of today, July 25th, 2025, is what's going on in the market here in Northern California. Are we at a buyer's market or are we seller's market? If you're a buyer or seller, what's that mean to you? So let's look at some numbers. So as of today, and I put Placer, Sacramento, Dorado County, all the homes together because I like to see trends. I like to study trends. So across all three counties, if I was taking out and looking at homes, there's 5,312 homes available today in the multiple listing service. What's the significance to me when I see 5,000? Well, I'm going to tell you. This is the first time this year that I've seen that number go over 5. As a matter of fact, this year was the first time in about 10 years I've seen our inventory go up over, our standing inventory over 3,000, and now I've seen it go over 4,000, and this is the highest number I've seen year to date, and that's the highest that I've seen in the last 12 years. Can it go higher? Absolutely. Is this a really bad number? No, not necessarily. And also, if I compare, though, this number to the same market we had 12 months ago, and I looked at quarter to quarter, this number is about 50% higher. So that is a significant number to see that this inventory is climbing that fast. So when we look at trends, again, I like to look at a broad base. One of my mentors, Gary Keller, talked about, the real estate market is not like the stock market where things are going up and down. It's like a freight train. So it takes a lot of time for the market to speed up. Then when we reverse it, you got to hit the brakes. It takes a while, and then it's going to slow down. So it doesn't react up and down. So inventory, the amount of available homes is definitely up. If I look at how many of those homes have sold in the last 30 days, in the last 30 days, we sold almost 1,700 homes, 1,696. So if I turn that into months of inventory, if no other homes come on the market, I used to call this absorption rate. It's really months of inventory. Right now, if no other homes come on the market and we keep selling at the same rate we're selling right now, we're going to be out of homes in a little over 3 months. So by the textbooks, we probably still call that maybe a neutral market, maybe not a buyer's or seller's market. And as far as where I've seen this, again, this is the first time in about 10 years I've seen this go over 3. Usually this is about 2. So what's that mean? Are we in a buyer's market? Are we in a seller's market? I'm going to say this. In our market today, I think a lot of people are feeling that it's turning into definitely a buyer's market. I'm going to call it more of a neutral market. So if you're selling a home, absolutely, you're still going to get your home sold. It's not going to sell maybe in 2 days. It may take 2 months, but by the books, that's still technically a seller's market, all right? But we just haven't seen or felt this in a long time. If you're a buyer, definitely advantages to you that you're not going to be, there's not that feeding frenzy. We are still seeing multiple offers. And if homes are well priced, well conditioned, you are going to see multiple offers, but that's not the norm. So it's a little, maybe I'm going to say a little less hectic. And really, what's the drivers here? The drivers is still the interest rates. I just checked today, as of today, interest rates are about 6 3/4. And if you look at, say, a $400,000 home, that equates to a mortgage of over $3,500 a month. So when I look at what people can rent for in the area, at the starter level, people they're paying a lot for rent, but they're maybe high $2,500 to $3,000, still a little more pricey to buy, and that's having the effect on the market. And even that starter level, that early the first home buyer market still affects the move-up buyer, even affects the luxury market, because we have to start moving that inventory at the bottom level to create more buyers and sellers as we go up. So again, I'm going to call it a neutral market. We're not all the way in. I've seen where this could be like we have 12 months of inventory. We had that back in 2008. So we got a long way to go, a long way to go. If I look at what effect has this had on prices, okay, if I looked at what the prices have done for these three markets, for Sacramento, El Dorado, and Placer County, in the last 12 months, the pricing's been pretty flat. So, we haven't seen a lot of appreciation, maybe 1% up, depends on the zip code, depends on the price range, 1% up, 1% down. And that's going back 12 months. So that's where we're definitely seeing where prices have leveled off in the last 12 months. And in preceding years, when we had a really low interest rate, we were seeing appreciations of 8 to 10% year after year. Okay, so now I know what your next question is, Frank, what's going to happen to the interest rate? And I have no idea. And neither does anybody else other than the Fed chairman and the Fed bankers themselves. So when people are saying, well, interest rates have to come down, or a lot of my peers in the industry, well, they're going to come down eventually, they have to. Well, no, they don't. We don't know that. And if anyone tells you that, I will challenge them to say, hey, show me. But regardless, if you got questions on the market, please give me a call or text to 916-257-0893, 0893, or you could always email me at frank@frankfluency.com. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.